CB Engine Pro. CB Manager is another product that we use. When we set this product up, we use it. I can't get into it. It'd take too much time. But look for the movers and shakers on ClickBank. CB Engine helps you identify those. So does CB Manager. Great products. Not just for ClickBank sales, folks. Competitive intelligence overall. It's $10 every 3 months. Guidelines for choosing your market. Look for high-volume search queries. Mystery Shopper has 24,513 searches on Overture. Guinea pig information is 702. Pet owners, guinea pigs might be part of a larger pet owner marketplace. I don't know. Might be. Maybe everyone who has a pet, if there's a correlation between guinea pigs and dogs, maybe you could sell them some dog products too. I don't know if there is. But I do know that Mystery Shopper has a strong correlation to Make It Money at Home market. Huge correlation. People say, well, how many searches are enough? I don't know. I have lists that each person on that list yield me $165 per name that gets added on that list. How much money can I spend to get somebody on that list? I could spend more if I wanted to. Jeff Walker told me this year, he says, you know what? I got $100,000 I'm willing to blow on building my list. John Reese, when he wanted eBay, he walked into the eBay market, the other major players stepped aside because John said, I'm going to own it. And he bought every lead he can get his hands on, and we all know what happened with his auction. It was huge business for him. So, that's it. How big should the search volume be? I don't know. You have to look at how much each product sells for. If you're selling a piece of industrial equipment that nets you $30,000 in every sale, how many of those do you have to make money? When I was a stockbroker, I'd make a sale where I made $100,000 in commissions, $90,000 in commissions. I'd walk out the door telling my secretary she'll hear from me soon. You've got to live your lifestyle the way you want to live it. Gary Ambrose and I were talking last night, and he said, he's a brilliant marketer, and he said the same thing. It's like, we leave so much money on the table, it's not even funny. We know we're supposed to be doing those things. But he said, I'm only 29, I'm 42. And I said, I have kids I want to play with and watch grow up. That's why I do what I do. We grab millions off the table that we also leave on the table, but, we leave enough to go around. And that's why Stu laughs at me all the time, my buddy Stuart, because I said, spread the love, spread the ball, share the love. There's enough money to go around. Why can't we all be friends? I say it all the time, and he laughs at me every time I say it. And it's the truth. You're not competitors. You should be friends. You should work together if you're in the same market. Don't work against each other. Ultimately make more money. Look what Jeff said yesterday about the guitar market. Didn't he say those guys started working together? And I'm willing to bet $1,000 that those guys are making more money now that they started working together, cross-promoting each other's items than they were making on their own. $1,000. If somebody proves me wrong, it's yours. Guarantee it. Make sure there's a back end for the market. Sign up for the newsletters in the market and see what they are selling. Try to make sure that they're not just selling a front-end product, but what the back-end product is, because that has to be part of your profitability equation. We look at stuff, and we sit down and I say, okay, we're earning X number of dollars when we do the quarterly or yearly reviews. Is that X number of dollars enough money for me to take action? No. Then I'm not going to touch it. Do I have to put too much work into it to earn that 7 figures business? Yes or no? No? Okay, I'll get rid of it. Or I won't even go into the market. Those are the type of things that only you can answer, though. Only you guys can answer that question. Is it enough money? I can't answer that for you. Just because I don't want to touch a market or you want to touch a market or vice versa, you've got to answer the question for yourself. But you have to make sure that whatever there is, that you can sell more than once and you can make enough money to provide for your family, yourself, and your friends. So I can't give you a definitive answer either on this. It's just how much money is enough, I don't know. But when you're looking at their marketing model, you have to help determine, try to figure out profitability and what you can do for yourself, the amount of effort that you put into it. Guidelines for choosing a market. I have 36 minutes. Look for markets that are evergreen. If it's a fad that will pass, if so, how much money is being made now? I've got a slide later I'm going to show you. Google Trends is a tool that I use in my research. I'll show you in the slides. Pet food recall. Big trend, right? It's not a trend, it's a spike. It'll go away, it could go away tomorrow. If you have a product that you can tie into that surge in traffic and that surge of interest, because what do we know? We see it on news 5 times a day. If we see it on the news 5 times a day, then the other persons are seeing it on the news 5 times a day. They go to the internet to do the research. If you have an existing product or you can pump one out real quick, like the Monica Lewinsky book, when the publication came out, the guys rushed it to print and made $1 million. If you can get something out real quick, tap into it, that's fine. Tap into it. But can you do that? Have you built your business to be pliable enough to be able to take advantage of those opportunities? The pet food recall probably will start a bigger trend overall, but the trend that I would look at in there for a market would be organics for your food, feeding the dog better, things like that. Dog health, those are the things to be looking at, because longer term, those are things that are searched for consistently more than just pet food recall. Do you guys understand the distinction? There's trends and there's spikes. You can take advantage of both, but you have to make sure that your business can take advantage of a spike. I mean, by the time you get the thing into place, is it going to be over? Then what? If you deployed your assets that you have available to you to pop into a trend, and the trend's gone by the time you get in there, how's it going to affect you? I mean, we've got projects, guys that work for me. Anthony knows that. Mario knows it. Justin knows it. Everyone that works for me knows it. You've got your primary job to do. But just going to be running down the stairs saying, we need this done today, or calling on the intercom. They do that job, then they go back to the primary job. So, as Evan said, you've got prioritization of your projects. They're all laid out. You put it on the list. I hope everyone uses lists. Put it on your planning list. Where am I going to roll this out? I have promotional calendars in my office, on the wall, big whiteboards. I write it out. I can see 4 months at a shot. Who's promoting what? Have I agreed to be part of it, yes or no? Someone calls and said, hey, can you do this for us? What I'm going to do is turn my head and look at the board. I don't have to worry about my computer. I don't have to worry about anything. I look at the promotional board, and I know where it's at. Yannick carries around a little, and in fact, you guys don't know, Yannick makes a ton of money. He's also one of the nicest guys you can work with. He carries around a planner, and in that planner, he writes his promotional schedule. Like I said, your list, you're doing a JV partner a favor by lending him your list for mailing. I don't do it because I want the money necessarily. It's all a small part of what I do. I do it because I'm helping out buddies most of the time. People who help me, I help them. Or if they're friends, I'll help them. So I'm careful about who I choose to lend my list out to. Yannick realizes the same thing. Yannick's a very good friend. We travel the country together along with Frank and everyone else we travel with. But he calls for me to promote something or vice versa. So I have to see which list it fits in. I don't want to just mail it to any list because you can only mail so many things. Chris was saying last night, it's an opportunity cost. It's an opportunity cost if you mail Joe Blow's product today and you're supposed to be mailing something else tomorrow. Your list isn't as responsive as it should be. You're sucking money out of your own pocket. You're moving it someplace else. Be very careful about where you send your traffic. Problem I have with First Cookie, and I don't use it when I sell my own products, but I do respect the fact that some people try to hijack stuff. I've never stuffed a cookie. I've never used one of those programs, nor have I recommended a program with one time, and I said there's some problems. Stuffing cookies, zero pop-ups, whatever you want to call it. Does everyone know what I'm talking about? When the person doesn't actually visit the site and you stick your affiliate cookie in there and you overwrite the next guy's. Never done anything like that, but there are times where you haven't been able to get a promotion out. The guy comes to you and says, "Can you mail for me?" Well, yeah, but here's my calendar. This is what I can do for you. I can mail the day of the launch, maybe the day before the launch. But at that point, it's late in the game for me. You're asking me to mail for you. I'm doing you the favor. Well, if it's First Cookie set, what kind of a favor are you doing me? I'm still going to send you my leads, but the sale's going to go to somebody else, but you're going to get my lead, put them on your list, and I never get paid for it. If you have affiliates that are scamming people like that, I heard a deal yesterday where they said the guy insists that he be allowed to mail only an hour before the launch. Well, that guy's trying to scam the system, all right? I'd probably say no, too, if I was an affiliate, JV guy at that point. I'd say, no, it's not fair. But in general, you got to look at each case and say, okay, I went to him and asked him to mail, and he can only do it because he's a businessman, and he's got a list, and he's got to run by his promotion calendar. So I understand he's going to mail at the last minute. And I'm not the only big affiliate marketer that feels that way. And I'm talking for both sides of the fence. You have to look at it from both sides. So and it's its own personal preferences, but be careful as a JV marketer that you're doing what's right for the affiliate that you're trying to get to do business for you. So always consider those things before you jump into it.